Hey guys, how are we going today? Hope we're all having a lovely day. I was looking at all of my makeup the other day and I was sitting here and thinking, my God, so much of the makeup that I have has disappointed me in one way or another. And I figured, why not make a video about it? I'm sure we've all had items that haven't lived up to our expectations in one way or another. A lot of these items I do like, I genuinely like, but there's just one or two things that bug me and hasn't lived up to my expectations and has disappointed me in one way or another. So I have a giant basket, well, not a giant basket, but it's a basket and it's full of a lot of things that have disappointed me in one way or another. So I'm going to sit down. Let's see if maybe these items have disappointed you in one way or another. I'm going to start from the very beginning. A very good place to start with the first items that disappointed me. And the very first item was my first ever purchase from Mecca. Now, Mecca has a lot of high-end makeup. For anyone who doesn't live in Australia, it's similar to Sephora, only they don't really stock a lot of the cheaper, more affordable things. So they do have their own Mecca brand, but even then the items, you're still looking at 20 or 30 Australian dollars for a foundation. So it's, with Sephora, you'd probably be looking at $15 for a lipstick. With Mecca, you're still probably looking at around $20 or $30 for a lipstick. So, given that, I figured, I'm going to try some minis. That way it's not as expensive and I'll still get to have that, oh my God, I went to Mecca and I got the nicest things kind of feeling. And this was probably the few things that I bought from Mecca to start with were the most hyped up things. Like, everyone loves it. Everyone raves about it. And I think because of that, my expectations were just so high that it's not possible for these products to live up to my expectations. And the first one is the MAC Mini Lipstick. Now, this wasn't cheap. Like, the full-size MAC lipsticks are, reasonable priced for high-end makeup. But even then, this mini, I'm pretty sure I still paid around $20 for this mini. First thing, I was just so excited. I'm like, oh my God, I love it. The packaging's beautiful. And yeah, it is chipped and scratched because it's been rolling around in my drawer, with all my other lipsticks getting all bashed together. But I was so disappointed with how skinny this thing is. Like, yeah, I understand, my expectations were probably really high, but it looks ridiculous. Like, I've used a little bit of it, but it just looks so ridiculously tiny, compared to a full-size lipstick. You'd think that it would be a little bit thicker. And that's where I don't like about it. I mean, you can see, look at the scratches around that, where when I have it down and I'm putting it on, because it's so rinky-dink, it moves. And when I'm applying it, it moves and it bashes up against the insides of the tube. And I'm like, man, it looks so tiny and so dinky. Like, they could have done better. And the second thing, and this was probably my fault for not realizing this, but I didn't realize what a retro matte was. I didn't realize it was going to be super, super, super drying. Now, I have oily skin. You can see I'm shiny, and I did my makeup not even 2 hours ago. I am shiny. I have the oiliest eyelids ever. I can't get any cream products to stick. My lips are usually pretty easygoing when it comes to matte products, but this dries the shit out of them. They end up all dried, crusty. I hate it. And everyone raves about the colour. Oh, it's fantastic. It's amazing. It suits every skin tone. It does not look good on me. Over the last year, I was trying to focus on getting more use out of it and, using it all up. But it's so dry, barely any of it comes onto my lips, and I have to really slather it on. I don't know if you can see it. You probably won't be able to, but look at how misshapen the tip of it is, because it basically gets squashed. You can see around the edges here where it's like it just gets smooshed down. And the colour just doesn't look that great on me anyway. So I'm not saying that it's bad. I bet there are people out there who absolutely rave about this. And maybe if the hype hadn't been built up around it so much, I probably would be okay with it. But it does not meet my expectations, and it has disappointed me. The second items was actually a set that I got from Mecca, and because this is the holy grail that everyone raves about and it's fantastic, and the brand can't help but flog a dead horse, it's really disappointed me. And it's NARS Orgasm set. So we have the mini orgasm, I think it's just called the mini orgasm, the multiple, and the lip gloss. Now, if it was just this and the multiple, I never would have bought it. But I bought it for the lip gloss. And one, I am disappointed with the amount of product in the multiple. Let me just wind this up so you can see. That's it. You can see the plastic line there. For a tube that big, and I think I paid close to $50 or $60 for this trio, is that all I get? Like, seriously? Okay, that was disappointment one. I've used this maybe 3 or 4 times, and I end up with chunks of glitter all over my face. I don't mind a bit of shimmer in a blush, but I don't want chunks of glitter sitting across here on my face. Now, I am actually wearing these today. This has also lifted the foundation off my face, even though I powdered. And I've used it maybe 10 times, and it's got hard pan. I wash my brushes weekly, and in between each blush that I use, I swap brushes. So I'm using a clean brush in this every time, but she's still got hard pan. I could deal with the size. The size is, I'm fine with that. I will, it'll probably take me a year to get through that if I focus just on this one blush. I'm fine with that. But that combined with this, it kind of had me annoyed. And then I got to this. I thought, right, this is fine. This is going to be the perfect lip gloss. I can just throw it on, run out the door, live my best life. Nope. I don't know who they're testing this on and how they're photoshopping it, but how it shows up there on my hand is not how it shows up on my lips. And even then, that is very different to how they put it on the models as well. I mean, you can see that is very sheer. You can see how it gathers on the hairs on my hand. Probably not from that far. That's probably better. You can see the texture there. I don't know how they're getting it so opaque on the models. And when I put it on, it gathers like a son of a bitch. Especially if I don't wear lipstick underneath it. Like, am I wearing this one today? No, I'm wearing another one today. I wore this earlier today on top of another lipstick, and it is the only way I can get it to look reasonably good is to wear it on top of another lipstick. And that's not what I wanted. If I wanted a lipstick this colour, I would have bought a lipstick this colour. I wanted a lip gloss this colour to wear just as a lip gloss, but it doesn't work. It also does that awful thing where it like leaves stringy bits. I am just so disappointed in this. Like, I look at the tube and I love that colour. It's gorgeous. I could wear that all day, every day. But the formula has done me wrong. And that's it. They're probably, or aside from one of the next ones, they're the main ones that have disappointed me so bad. You know what? I'm finding it is all the really, really high-end brand stuff that is giving me the shits the most. Because I expected better from these brands. I'm going to move on to a few things that have disappointed me because of silly little things. The next three, well, I'm going to do the next two have annoyed me for my own fault because I got the wrong damn shades. I got them earlier last year when, you know, oh, stay at home as much as you can. You know, we got to try and prevent coronavirus, which I did the right thing. I stayed home, but I was running out of foundations and I wanted to try some new things. So I did some online ordering. I tried to match my colours as best as I could, but I stuffed it up. I got it wrong. This one is way too light. This one is way too yellow. My own fault, but they've still disappointed me. I will know better for next time. I'm going to go in store and swatch these. I'm pretty sure I'm just not a fan of this one in general. Like, it would be okay if I was only wearing it for a couple of hours because it is a luminous finish and I'm an oily person. But I wanted to give it a go just in case. I probably will find the best colour and try it to see if it is better. This one, I probably won't because I've found one, you know, I wanted to get a really, really good one that was matte and long lasting. And I did actually find another one from a different brand in my perfect shade. So I'll probably use this just to use it and then not bother. The next one, to me, was marketed as, you know, this is going to be the best thing ever. You're going to have matte skin. It's pore blurring my butt. This, I've just noticed that there, and that, I'm sorry, that just pissed me off so much. This is not pore blurring. This is pore exaggerating. Every time I wear this, it gathers in my pores here and looks terrible. It is not matte. After about half an hour of wearing this, I am oily as. In fact, I think this makes my oil worse. So that has disappointed me. I have had a couple of Revolution foundations in the past and they have been pretty damn good. I am, for other reasons, no longer buying Revolution products, but this was the one that I thought will be their saving grace. This would be the one that would change my mind and make me go back to buying from them, and no, not happening. I am done with Revolution. Next one is a Revolution Pro product as well, and it's just called the Powder Foundation. It's pretty good. I mean, the colour is a pretty good match for me as well. Possibly just a little bit too dark, but good for me in summer. This makes me break out. I mean, you can see all along here. All under here. I wore this 2 days ago. 3 days ago, actually. 3 days ago. I had a couple of spots underneath here to start with, but not that bad, not that many. every time I wear this, it breaks me out. And I think, oh, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's a combination of that and something else. Or maybe I'm hormonal or blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So stupid me, I sit down, I give it another go. No, every time. Every damn time. Every damn time. Another Revolution one, and I'd forgotten about this one until I saw it then, was this. This is the I Heart Revolution Unique Unicorns Lipstick and Fantasy Realm. I thought I was going to absolutely love this. It was going to remind me so much of a lipstick I used to wear in high school. It was a beautiful pinky purple colour. I got it. I tried it. It's awful. It's sheer. It's shiny, and it is chunky glitter. You can see the chunks of glitter in it. I'm not wearing that on my lips. The only reason, like you can see it here in the base, it looks like a supernova with how much glitter it has in there. That is not how it was pictured on the website. The only reason I have not decluttered this, I'm not even going to say decluttered, the only reason I have not tossed out this piece of shit is because my daughter likes it. And when I'm sitting down doing my makeup and getting ready, she'll come along and she knows this is her lipstick that stays in my drawer. So she's got her own, you know, little lip balms and lip smackers and a couple of glosses she's gotten for birthdays and Christmas in her little makeup bag in her room. But this is her good extra special one that stays with mummy's makeup. And that is the only reason that it stays. And even then, I have to make sure I put it on her so she doesn't end up with purple glitter all over her face. I don't want to throw it out because I know that if I do, one, she's going to be into all of my other makeup and all my other lipsticks and wanting to know which ones she can wear. So to me, to her, this isn't her lipstick. This is my special lipstick that I let her wear. But to me, it's her lipstick that stays in my drawer. If I threw it out, she would be wanting to use my other good ones, which they're very expensive and she gets a little heavy-handed with them. But she would also be so disappointed because she thinks it's pretty. But she's 7, and 7-year-olds are the only ones who will wear this. You've done me wrong again, Revolution. You've done me wrong. I do have a couple of products that there's more design aspects and features that I don't particularly like. And one of them is the Flower Beauty, I don't know, it's just Flower Beauty powder. Once I ripped off the thing, everything else just came off with it. And my issue with this is so damn friggin' chunky. I mean, look at that. Aside from the powder just going everywhere then, look at how deep inset that, I'm going to turn my lights down. You still can't really see it very well. The lighting here is terrible. I mean, look at how far my finger sits inside there. Up to there. This is just, it's ridiculous. It's down to there. Okay, so that's where the insert goes. This is how big the powder puff is, and it sits straight in there. Like, it is flush up the top, and look at how thick that is. All this extra room around here. All that extra black space and how chunky this lid is. There is no need for that. There are probably only, I think it's only a 5-gram thing or 10 grams of powder in this. There is no need for this much packaging. I mean, there is more powder in this than there is in this. This takes up so much space. Like I have a little drawer, a little thing here in my drawer for my powders. It takes up half of it for one powder. Let's see how many other things I can stick in here with this. That won't fit, but you know, I managed to stick another 3 things in there. So there's this compact, this one, and this one. 4 powder compacts in the space that this one takes up. It is really frustrating to me. Like if I want to go away, I'm not taking that with me. Like that is going to take up too much space. Given it is light, it's very light, and I love the powder in there. But there's no need for it to be that big. That's just ridiculous to me. Next product that I wasn't fussed on with the design aspect is the Colourpop Luxe Liquid Lip in the shade Flynn. I love the box on this. It is so gorgeous. I love the tube on this. It is beautiful. But this spent 2 days in my handbag. Look at how chipped and scratched and worn off that writing is. It is exactly the reason why I still kept it in the box, and I've had it in the box this whole time. I bought this at the end of 2019, I think not long after they released it. I have kept it in the box this entire time until about 3 weeks ago when I wore it twice. It was in my handbag for 2 days, and all that beautiful gold writing on there, it's gone. I'm so disappointed. I loved it. It was beautiful. The next one is another Colourpop. I do have a couple of Colourpops, and it's the Jelly Much Shadow in She Grown. I thought this was just so beautiful, and the box that it came in was gorgeous. I understand it needs to have the little stopper in it to prevent it drying out. But she's already dried out. Look at that. She's not jelly. There's no wobbles there. She's chunky as. Look at that. Shouldn't have done that. Now I've got, oh damn it, I just dropped the thing. That's another thing, because it's got such a teeny tiny little bit of plastic to hang on to. See here, to grab it by. And what the hell are you meant to put that down on? I don't want to put it inside the lid, because then I'm going to end up with pink stuff inside the lid. But, you know, give me a little bit of extra plastic to hang on to. Let's squish it around a bit, eh? That's not very squishy. You know, my finger's not going into that. My finger is bouncing off the top of it. And that's not jelly. You can see my fingerprint in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I can see my fingerprint in there. Let me... Okay. I just put a really deep fingerprint in there. I'm going to try and get it up close so you can see. Probably won't be able to because of the light. I don't think you can. But I can see my fingerprint in there. Doesn't seem like something jelly-ish to me. So that, I love the colour, I really do. But it's got a lot of glitter in it too. Oh, turn that down a bit. There we go. It's got a lot of glitter in it too, and the colour wears off, but the glitter stays, which is a pain. So you can see the colour wears off, but the glitter stays. See my fingertips glittering? But there's no colour there. I love it. I'm not going to get rid of it, but she has disappointed me. Something else that I ordered at the same time was the Snake Eyes Super Shock Shadow Kit. First thing I noticed when I pulled it out was, oh no, I smushed it back into place, was the colour Kush was broken. But I had to smush it back into place to get it to stay. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just that one. That's all right. I'll have a look at the other one, see how she goes. This entire thing fell out. Now, of course, it's not going to do it now. But you can see I had to completely smush that back into place. Like, it looks like it's an old one that I've been, you know, digging my fingers into for a while. But look at around the edges where it's all fluffy and not like, see how it's all fluffy around the edges and not smooth and circular like this one is? I have obviously had to repress that. I was sitting here getting ready one day, part of it fell out. I picked it up, put it back in, not a problem. And then the entire thing fell out. Like, it went everywhere. It went over my desk. It went over me. I managed to thankfully scrape up. I couldn't even pick up. I had to scrape up the pieces and put them back in here. It was so soft and fluffy that when I was trying to pick up the bits with my fingers, when I was trying to pick up the bits with tweezers, it was falling apart. I don't know who pressed that in there or how they pressed it in there. It did have the imprint on it that all the Super Shocks have when they're pressed in there. But I don't know how that was staying together. I don't even know how much product was in there. I probably would say that it's not as much as there should be, because for there to have been the right amount of product, it would have had to have been compressed down a hell of a lot more. And the fact that it just fell apart and it crumbled apart, it was not compacted down. So that really kind of pissed me off, especially because the colours are so beautiful. And I had to pick up bits of it off my clothing and off the bloody desk. Thank God I just cleaned it beforehand. Who knows how many germs could have been on it if it had landed on the floor. And I wasn't just going to throw it away because it's a brand new product. The next one that has disappointed me is a good branded product as well. And it's the Becca, what's it called? Shimmering Skin Perfector, Pressed Perfector, Perfector Pressed, whatever, in Champagne Pop. And I think that this is purely just because of how overhyped this is. This is the version of NARS's, this is Becca's version of NARS's Orgasm. They cannot keep flogging the dead horse. Like, what's that saying? Keep flogging a dead horse, whatever. They're flogging away at Colourpop. It's in everything. There were so many of their little gift sets that I wanted to get this year. Every single one of them's got Colourpop in it. Not Colourpop. Champagne Pop in it. What's the point? I've got this one. I got this one last year. Well, at the end of 2019. I've used it twice in the entire year, and I am so disappointed. Like, it's nice. I'm wearing it at the moment, but it is just not 100% my colour. It's a little bit too gold and yellow for my preferences. Now they have another set that came out. I think it was with the colour Opal. Let me just check. Yep, that's the one. This is the one I got this year. So I now have 3 of those. So I have Champagne Pop, Moonstone, which I like slightly a little bit better, but it's still not 100%. And now Opal. Opal is my favourite out of all of them. Champagne Pop is just, like, I'm looking at it now down on my hand and it's just too yellow. Like on the side there, you can see it looks slightly darker than my skin. I'm just disappointed. Like, it's my own fault But at the same time, it's probably Sephora's fault, because I go in and the lights are all pretty and shiny and I think, oh yeah, you know, I'll swatch that on my hand. Oh yeah, that looks great, not a problem. You know, compared to their purple and their pink highlighters, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. But when I get home and compare it to other ones that I already know and other ones that I already have my favorites of, my absolute favorite highlighter is probably 2 or 3 times this size and cost, I think, $10. It's an e.l.f. one of their baked highlighters. Can't remember what it is. Name's worn off and I've used it that much, but that's my absolute favourite. And yet I bought this one. A full-size one of this would cost about $50, $60. I'm just not a fan. But it's my own fault. Nobody made me buy it. It wasn't mislabeled as anything. Another one that kind of annoys me and has disappointed me is an Anastasia liquid lipstick in the shade Crush. Same thing. I got in store and it looks great. It looks fine. You know, not a problem. I swatched it. It's not a problem. But it does not come out this colour on my lips. It is like just a few shades off being okay, and it looks so not right when I wear it. And it just disappointed me a lot. I bought it in a set of the, I think it was the Sephora favorites, and it just kind of annoyed me. There are like 2 in that set that I bought that they're just not quite right. And I bought it for the other lip products. Like, I bought it for all of them, not just 1 or 2 specific ones. But it's annoying when you buy a set and there's just 1 or 2 things that just aren't quite right. The next few are things that I am really, really annoyed by. And there was a Marc Jacobs set that I bought earlier this year. And it really annoys me because I bought it for this lipstick, and once again, teeny tiny lipstick, although I am trying to get through this one. You know, this one's easier to get through because it's not a matte, but I'm going to swatch it there. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing as this one. You know, you try it on your hand and it looks great, but then you try it on your lips and it's just not right. It's too light. Like, too light to be concealer lips, but no, too dark to be concealer lips, but too light to be an acceptable nude. And the same as this. Like, this is 1 shade darker than my natural lips, and it just makes me look off because it's not a neutral tone, they're warm toned. And another thing that really annoyed me with this one, when I got it, it was broken. Now, I did contact Sephora about that and they did refund me a portion of the product. But I still don't want to kind of get rid of it because, ooh, it's a Marc Jacobs one and I want to give it a go, and I like the formula, and I like the formula of the lipstick. My problem now is that this is my lipstick for when I'm working from home. And I have to wear it for a couple of hours for it to kind of wear down to an acceptable level that I can go out in public with it. But still, it's a good formula, and it basically is just a tinted lip balm for when I'm at home. And they're also, all 3 of them are a lot smaller than what I was anticipating. But they're minis, it's cool, I can live with that. Still disappointing. And the same as this as well. It's just not quite right. It's just too white shiny. I mean, it's really difficult to see. Like, it looks there. It looks like that bloody highlighter. Doesn't it? You've got the highlighter here and the lip gloss here. They're the same colour there, and they're the same colour there. Would you look at that? Marc Jacobs lip gloss in Cream and Sugar is the same colour as Becca's Champagne Pop. And this last one of my disappointments, I'm absolutely fuming about, because I thought, why not Sephora? I'll give you a go. I'll spend $15 on a single eyeshadow in the colour Antique Copper. that got hard pan the second I put a very clean brush into it, before I even got it on my eyelids. I took 5 swipes, eyeshadow, eye, eyeshadow, eye, eyeshadow, eye, to build up any kind of colour. You can see it now. You can see the hard pan in there now. I've had to dig into it. I've had to put sticky tape over it, see if that fixes it. Doesn't work. Well, it does work at removing it temporarily. The only way I can get any kind of colour payout is to dig my finger into it and then swipe it on there. But look at that. Look at how shitty that is. I'm going to show you on a different section of my arm. So I'm going to use another finger. This finger so I can get more pressure. You can hear I'm moving it about in there. Yeah, there's a little colour there. Like there's colour there. But that's not great. Let's go again. That's starting to get better. That was my elbow on the table, by the way. Let's keep going again. 3rd time. There we go. And you can see that's where I accidentally bumped my middle finger. Look at that. That middle finger was where the first one I got in it, and that one's the one I've been digging into it. And that was just where I've brushed against it with my middle finger there on my arm like that. Look at that. $15 Sephora. Are you fucking kidding me? Let me just grab a random ass Colourpop single shadow. I'm going to use my pinky finger because that has the least pressure. Look at that. I dug into that Colourpop shadow once. I will never buy a single Sephora eyeshadow again. And by a single Sephora eyeshadow, I mean any eyeshadow from the Sephora brand, not just the singles, but in their palettes. I am just so disappointed with that because you look at it and you think that's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And it is. This is my, one shadow over the entire lid and then just put on a little bit of mascara and I'm good to go. But I shouldn't have to work that hard for it. And I shouldn't have to use my fingers. I should be able to use a brush to do that. So it's staying for now. I will keep it for now. I'm going to keep majority of these products for now because they're all too damn expensive for me just to throw them out. I'm going to have to find my own ways to make them work. But I'm so disappointed in some of this makeup. And a lot of it, like a few of them were my own fault. Color choices and, whatnot. Formulas on foundations, that's my own fault. But shitty products with shitty packaging. Yeah. If you hate any of these products or I shouldn't say I hate them. I've been disappointed in these products. If you've been disappointed in any of the following or any of the ones that I've mentioned, please feel free to comment down below. If you have any other products that have disappointed you or quite frankly have just given you the shits, I want to know. I want to hear about it. Let me know your horror stories. Anything else you'd like to add, please feel free to comment down below. But until then, I'll talk to you next time.